Wolves fans, join us January 28th at the Rosemount Legion. It's a Michelob Ultra watch party with KFAN's Max Fuller, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. with trivia, prizes, and drink specials. All the details at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Is this supposed to be Pink Floyd? Is this like a Pink Floyd ripoff bit?
I would guess.
This is the Light Side of the Moon.
Brilliant. What a great album.
But Guaranteed Human, right? I'm sure this is an actual band.
It might be. I mean, we do have a library of a lot of, before this whole AI stuff, there's a lot of this stuff here too, so.
100%. We would never use AI.
No.
Ever. Tommy and Chris are debating something over there.
No. Oh, I probably shouldn't have put the camera on there. Whoops.
Oh, no.
What are they doing over there?
I don't think they know they're on
Was
camera.
there gesturing going on?
Some pretty graphic moves there.
Oh, no. Again?
You know what you're talking about.
Nothing bad. Nothing bad.
You know what you're talking
Nothing
about.
bad.
Well, then share with the class.
Yeah, we can guess.
Yeah, no, you guys know. We've talked about it this morning.
Yeah, we were already talking about it.
You know what we're talking about.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, only I just
Yeah.
I just saw some demonstration video.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
You needed a visual aid.
Yeah.
I didn't. The visual that I got was not the visual I was hoping for.
The visual almost gave you AIDS.
Yeah. Jesus. Whoa. Well. Well. Well.
Can we have your landman take quickly?
Before you're escorted out. Yeah.
You don't like it, do you?
That's so sad.
No, I don't.
Why?
I don't.
Benny,
this
Benny,
is not.
okay, can I say
this is-
something before you
yes,
start?
Yes, please. You have.
Are you
course.
just being contrarian to be contrarian to be the other side? Mm-mm. There's no way that you don't like it. This would hit you right in between the eyes.
I tell you what, if this show was first and Yellowstone came later, I might be like everybody else, like, this is great. Like, this is fun, right? I'm so burnt out by the Taylor Sheridan writing and over dramatics of every scene from Yellowstone. Like, I couldn't wait for Yellowstone just to be over. I'm like, there's a point where I'm like, not every scene has AK-47s on a ranch. Like, that's not real life. Like, it was fun. It was a fun watch in the beginning. And then I think it just got so ridiculous. And I got tired of the ridiculousness, where, every piece of dialogue has to be just so smoky and dramatic. And, it's like,
Talk slower. Tommy wants this for later.
Yeah. So, I'm exhausted by him. And I thought when I watched the first three, I think I watched 3 episodes of Landman, I was trying to get into it. But then when they started, I know this sounds like such an old man. This is such a dumb take, but I think it's just because I am so exhausted by him. The sexualization of his high school daughter in like episode 2 or whatever, 3, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, she's supposed to be like 16 or 17 years old. And she's like a big focal point in the background, traipsing around in her bikini at the pool with this 70-year-old assistant sitting at the kitchen table, trying not to have thoughts and feelings about this 16-year-old. I'm like, what? What are we doing? Like, they're allowing the boyfriend to spend the night on the couch and, like, I don't know. I'm like, does this really need to be part of this over-drama? Like, get to the oil rigs blowing up. That was kind of fun, right? That was cool. Billy Bob's amazing. Like, his individual character and his performance is great. I'm just exhausted by Taylor Sheridan. I think it's just a hard watch. There's so many unrealistic things. Like, once he started to show how unrealistic his writing was in Yellowstone, and then it carried over into Landman, I'm like, I'm out. I'm not putting up with this. My mom watched Dallas and all that stuff when she was growing up, and I'm like, this is just a modern version of Dallas and all of those late night dramatic TV shows. I'm like, this is a soap opera on steroids, and I'm not here for it.
I never saw Yellowstone. Maybe that's why I like it so much.
You never saw Yellowstone?
No, never watched it.
You'd love it. You would.
Oh my
love
God.
it. Dude! You would be so into Rip.
Oh my God.
You would be so into Rip.
He would be so into Rip.
You would
So I
come
never
and
saw
dress as a
second.
cowboy the next day.
Yeah.
What? You moved to a farm.
The
tomorrow.
first-
Do you know how you loved Yellowstone right when you saw it? You probably did.
I loved it.
Yeah, it
That's
was
how
great.
I feel about Landman right now. I'm like, this is the best.
See,
I
I
never
think-
saw Yellowstone.
So I think if you get through Landman and it has the same arc that Yellowstone has, I think if you started watching Yellowstone, you'd be like, I'm just watching the same show, just in a different form.
in Montana's version.
Yes.
Or whatever. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I can buy into that. That
Yeah.
makes sense in my head.
Big balls.
That makes a lot of sense in my head.
Rip
Yeah.
for sure has big balls.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Ripper, what's his name? Billy Bob's character. Who's more of a badass?
Oh, Rip. I haven't even seen
Well-
Landman. It's Rip.
really?
Yeah. So Billy Bob would be Kevin Costner if there was like
okay.
if there was like a comparison.
Billy Bob, it's like, I don't know that there's a difference between real life Billy Bob and the character he plays in Landman.
That's true.
You know, I don't know if you can separate the two. And I know that Taylor Sheridan wrote the part specifically for Billy Bob. But I will say this. I love both shows. But if I could, I would go in and edit out a lot of each episode that I don't need. If you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's the same with Yellowstone. There's a lot of things that happened that I was like, this is superfluous. Get back to beating people up.
Yeah.
With Landman, it's like, this is superfluous. Get back to telling me, you know, what's going on with the oil. So I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But that said, the Billy Bob character is one of my favorite characters ever on television. I love this character.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a straight talker. And then you add in an old dude with the mustache this season.
Sam Elliott.
Sam
He's the
Elliott.
best.
It's so good.
And I love that it feels like Friday Night Lights, like it's in the same.
It does.
It
I
feels like
would
the same.
agree with
Well, it's
you.
galaxy or
literally
whatever.
it's in the same town.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it feels
That's
like
so permanent, yeah.
it feels like Mojo's going to go play on Friday night, and you're like, yeah,
I still
hell
never
yeah.
have seen that.
Oh,
You've never seen the movie?
No, I've seen the movie, not the TV show.
Don't waste your time with the TV.
Really?
So
Everybody loves the TV show.
I have a
whoa.
I have a many type take on this.
Males.
I thought Friday Night Lights was beloved by everyone.
Friday Night Lights, the movie, like changed my high school.
Yeah,
years.
yeah, for
That's
sure.
just how
The movie's
everybody-
100 out of 100.
It's the best. So I am too stubborn to even give the
Same.
the TV
Big
show
balls.
a chance.
Yeah,
I
big
won't watch
balls.
it. I
1
won't.
million
Just
males.
won't do it.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
Tommy's dream.
I don't want that to get tainted at all because that like Boobie Miles and everybody that changed my life. So I don't want to watch.
She's a 10.
No, it's no, I can't watch it. I can't. Yeah,
But that's fine.
I heard
That's-
everyone.
Yeah, I've heard everybody loves it.
Yeah.
And I get the response like that when people are like, you have never watched Friday Night Lights, the show? I'm like, no, I've never watched it.
It's one of the best TV shows of all time.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
It would not taint it at all. In fact, I think you would really like it.
It's horrific.
You'd love Lila.
Pat.
You'd probably love Matt Saracen, Tommy.
Come on now.
Who's Matt Saracen? Is that
Coach.
Tim Riggins?
No, that's the quarterback.
Oh,
Your mic's on.
Eric Taylor.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
speaking of good-looking people, have you guys seen Elordi and the previews of that with what's her name?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, have you seen that? Have you heard about that at all?
With Wuthering Heights, right?
Yeah. Have you heard like how she got so infatuated with him on set that she needed to be by him all the time?
She said she was like codependent.
Yeah, like she couldn't stand without him. Like that's
Isn't she married?
yeah,
That's a problem.
and that's how good looking this Elordi is. We know
Shot him.
You know what I said about him last week?
So
Like
she
this-
said that about herself? Like she had to be around him?
in an interview. Yeah, and she's married.
He crushed her.
Whoa.
Direct quotes.
You don't know that.
That must have been a fun article for him.
That's a rumor, bet.
Think of that.
But imagine if like Seth said that and Tommy'd be like, I agree.
Yeah.
See what this guy looks like.
Tommy be like, same.
But like he is a stud horse.
Did
so
we
I
just
get
become
that.
best friends?
You really should maybe go see him, Seth. You really should.
Yeah,
We
first.
finally have something in common.
Fascinating.
What's this guy's name? Elordi?
Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
He was in
He's a
Euphoria.
Euphoria. Yeah.
Overrated.
And
my.
No, Zach
Frankenstein.
Thinks he's hideous.
Zach, you don't think
he's
he's
Frank-
I don't think he's.
as well.
I don't think he's hideous, but I don't understand the infatuation with him. Like he's okay looking. He's good looking, but like he's not like the
Yeah, that guy.
11 out of 10 that. And I think we talked about it last week. Like
We
the
did.
generational gap is there's something about the next generation that really loves
Yeah,
him.
Ben, ask Ames, because, Bailey's only a couple of years older than her. that whole generation, that is like the
Obsessed.
heartthrob of their generation is Jacob Elordi. They're all
Really?
obsessed with him.
Yeah,
I don't
after
see why
Euphoria, he's up there for sure.
Yep.
I don't see why you couldn't
And,
be. He's got great hair.
That could-
He's pudgy.
What's that other movie that he's in, Zacho?
He's tall,
Has
too.
the forehead of a football helmet.
Oh, Zach.
Was it Kurt Bills?
Kurt, no. Be
Zach,
quiet, Pat.
hey Zach, can I ask you a question that you could maybe redeem yourself from about 8 years ago?
Sure.
1 through 10, Eric Sederholm.
I mean, probably a 8.
Okay.
Sate.
What?
Yeah, look at him.
My God.
He's now looking at Jacob Elordi.
I mean,
Jacob Elordi
he's
with a
more
shirt
your
on.
type, clearly.
You've called him a 6 in the past, and
No, I think that wasn't that Dov?
But he was low maintenance, so that gives you
Yeah,
like 2 extra
yeah,
points, so you're
yeah.
like an 8.
So yeah, he's an 8.
It's been said on this show multiple times, or at least this airwaves multiple times. Tommy, but don't forget, Zach also thinks Patrick Swayze is dead from the neck up. He's talking about Bodie. Right? The Bodhisattva.
I don't
Dead from the neck
I don't
up.
understand Zach's types, to be honest. I
By the way,
can't.
I've gotten a lot of people coming out of the woodwork and agreeing with me on the
About Swayze?
Swayze. Yeah,
No, that's no.
I think he's fine, but
My God.
where's
Are you
the
kidding?
Sederholm's yoga videos? I'm trying to find them.
I actually got the link, and I'm not
Thank
joking.
you.
My God.
Nobody thinks you're kidding.
No, nobody thinks you're kidding.
It's horrific.
You've never done yoga to him, though.
Definitely sweated.
The sticky, icky, icky.
That's so good.
Speaking of sticky, Sauce, we got to get this audio. I should have got this before the show. You familiar with Mad Dog, Chris Mad Dog Russo?
Yeah.
There's a 15-second clip that somebody posted yesterday. He calls the Denver quarterback Jared Stickum, and he isn't trying to be funny. He just mispronounced it and said Stickum. So that's Mad Dog. Mad Dog can't say it, so
Yeah.
you should feel better.
Well, thank you.
You didn't say Stickum. You said
No.
Stidman.
Yeah.
He said Stickum.
That's way wrong.
That's way off. So you and Mad Dog are in the same club. Tommy and Ben and I are in the same club, the Driveway Club.
I'd be
But,
careful with that.
Yeah.
What would Tommy like to do to Sederholm?
Stick 'em.
Yeah.
Good luck tomorrow in the Driveway Club, by the way, guys. This is
Yeah.
going to be a big one for
What
us.
are you doing?
It's a big one for us.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
want
we'll get through it though.
Do you want Ben and I to join your watching Eric Sederholm yoga video club?
See-
or you want to be on your own on that one?
Two more
Are you saying
wishes,
C as
baby.
in yes?
At least Ben.
You guys, okay, should we all film our mornings tomorrow when we're going to start our cars? See
I
how
won't
they
be
go?
able to feel my hands. How am I supposed to film anything?
I know, but it'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We all compare. We compare notes. We'll all put it on Twitter. We should do it shirtless.
Okay, calm down.
See if
Tommy, you're the best, dude.
Love you guys. You
Good
guys
to
are the
see you,
best.
man.
I'll see you next week.
Towers, bye.
All right, Sauce does sports after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
And
Bye, Tommy. There he goes. Patrick Moore Show. You know, we haven't talked sports much at all. We should do that, shouldn't we? We're big sports guys, right?
Sauce, here's your time to shine.
Fan 5 on the Power Trip. Presented by All Around, your TimberTech deck building contractor.
I agree. Thank you. The Minnesota Vikings announced yesterday they will be bringing back Brian Flores as long as he doesn't get a head coaching job. So he will not be making a lateral move. We'll probably talk more about it in Vikings news, but Ben, your quick thoughts.
Well, it's a great first step. And again, we'll have to wait till after the whole football season until, you know, if the Rams get beat this weekend against Seattle, then I think the floodgates will open because there's a lot of assistants that are on some head coaching dockets. And these teams are waiting for them to get done so they can have actual in-person interviews with them instead of just Zoom calls. So I think once those dominoes start to fall, we'll have a better understanding if he's going to be our D coordinator, if he's going to be moved on into the next phase of the head coaching search.
Sweet. The Wolves battle the Bulls tonight at 7 o'clock at the Target Center. Your Wolves have lost 3 straight, but Maxo, they are 9.5-point favorites tonight.
They're talking about something else over there.
Yeah, we're
They stopped
discussing the
listening.
show. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Oh, about the Wolves battling the Bulls
that's
tonight.
exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah,
that's
that's
so
exactly
weird.
what
I'm
we're
sorry.
talking
We should have had our mics on because we were talking about the Bulls.
Yeah.
Fox super excited about the Bulls. I had to tell him Michael Jordan's not playing.
I had no idea.
Oh.
He said Dwight Pippen wasn't either.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
The guy from The Office.
Yep.
Dwight Pippen. Maxo, your thoughts?
Yeah,
tonight?
Wolves. It's been a little rough for them lately. That game against the Jazz the other night was brutal. I mean, it's not one of the worst losses of the season, but still, you want to get your ass together against a team like the Utah Jazz, especially in a tightly knit Western Conference. Because now, it was like a week ago. I was just telling you guys they were half a game and a half out of being the 2nd seed, and now I believe last time I checked, they're the 7th seed in the Western Conference. And if the playoffs started today, which luckily they don't, they'd be in the play-in. And obviously, we can check the standings every day. People are going to be jostling for playoff position until the 82nd game of the season. That's just how the Western Conference is. But you got to stack wins against the Utah Jazzes of the world or the Chicago Bulls of the world, who were really hot to start the season, kind of like the surprise team of the first 2 weeks, and then promptly came right back down to earth. So Anthony Edwards, I mean, he's been unstoppable lately offensively. He's just taken his game to another level. He pretty much is liable to drop 40, 35 plus a night. He's pretty much unstoppable. Thanks, man. And so I think they gotta get a win here because they've lost 3 in a row, and that Jazz game was pretty brutal.
How about this? Mike Conley in that losing streak of 3 games, he has scored 6 points.
Yeah. Yeah, here's the nation to the Timberwolves.
Be a better team.
I mean, yeah.
The nation's right for once.
Yeah. They got to, I don't even know what you do with Mike Conley, but it's over for Mike Conley.
Yeah, they need to, before this trade deadline, they're probably going to be looking at the point guard situation and definitely need to be looking at the backup center situation, because when Rudy's not playing, this team is pretty abysmal defensively. So, but offensively, they're up there. They're top 10 team in pretty much most categories. They just have to put it all together at the right time. And they were winning against the Jazz. They just had a giant 4th quarter collapse and let Keontae George, score 40 something points. So it's just, it was a disaster, but hopefully get back on the bandwagon here against the Bulls.
The Wild host the Red Wings tonight at 6:30, and that game could be heard on the Fan. The Wild are 28.
Isn't it 8:30?
Oh, it is.
Game at 8:30?
It is 8:30. I haven't had 8:30 written down.
But you said 6:30.
Yeah.
Hang on. I actually had so much faith in you. I'm nowhere near the button. Hang on. I thought you were going to do it.
I can't do it.
All right. I'll give you my thoughts.
The Wild are 28-19-9, but the Red Wings are 31-16-4.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the Wild are 28-14-9.
What I wrote? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Zach.
And we're falling apart here.
I didn't do anything.
It's all good. It's all doesn't really matter in the end. Everybody's trying to just maintain pace here in a very, very competitive Paritous. Is that a word?
Paritous.
No idea.
What the hell is that?
Like a lot of parody. Paritous.
Paradis?
They
You might have made up a word, but I don't mind
That's a
it.
good word.
Yeah.
I think
Mark's
that'll be a
Greek
good one.
ancestor.
Very Paritous league right now in the NHL. Everybody's going up and down. The teams that were bad are now all of a sudden good. Some good teams are all of a sudden bad. The Wild coming off of a very successful road trip. Could have been a little bit more, but
Sure, why not?
We'll always regret Montreal a little bit, but regardless, 4-game homestand starts tonight. Very late one. I had no idea. On the Fan against a very good Red Wings team that is surging as of late. So hopefully they can get the job done and then get into Hockey Day. And by the way, Hockey Day tomorrow still on. Iowa Wild, Milwaukee Admirals, Parker Fox, and I. We join in progress at 6 o'clock right here on the Fan.
It's going to be cold.
There is no single word, this is according to AI, no single word commonly used that means a large amount of parody. A high concentration of or volume of parody would be an avalanche of parody, a flood of parody, a barrage of parody, but there is no singular word like Paritous.
I'm not sure I'd use any of those other descriptive words for parody either.
An avalanche of parody.
Avalanche of parody.
Let's go ahead and just use Paradis.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's start it.
Let's do it. Good job. That should be a State Fair T-shirt.
So you believe the NHL is very Paritous?
Very Paritous.
Wow,
That was very redundant.
Well,
Why would you say it's Paritous?
I mean, look at the NBA. Look at the playoff standings right now, and I mean, it's the difference between. I mean, Max, right? It's like a couple of games here and there. It's
The Wolves go on a 3-game losing streak, and now they were in the play-in, and they were, if they had gone on a 3-game winning streak, they'd be the 2nd seed possibly.
Has there been a more Paritous season in the
it's
NBA?
the definition of Paritous.
I don't think so.
The NFL Final Four is set, and this all goes down on Sunday when the Pats are at Denver at 2 p.m. The Pats, though, are a 4.5-point favorite because Jarrett Stidham is starting for the Broncos.
You did something right.
Thank you, Ben. Your thoughts?
Here's the funny thing is, I'm actually surprised that Stidham hasn't had a better NFL career. I was a big fan of his when he was in Baylor. I heard a lot about him coming out of college. I think he was a 4 or 5 star, and Art Briles hand selected him to come into that offense, in which I think we respect his, maybe not some of his techniques. Obviously, he's not in college football anymore, but there was a time in that moment where he was sort of like this guru that was really being applauded for his talent evaluation. So, point being said, I thought that he has all the makeup to be a great quarterback or a good quarterback in the NFL, and it just hasn't materialized. We're hearing all this inflation of how he can run this offense and his connection to that offense, and he's been doing it, and he looks great, and he has all the confidence of Sean Payton and all this other stuff. That's yes, you want to hear all that going into a huge game like this. I just don't see how he's going to take his first real snaps in 2 years against this style of defense. The Patriots defense is, after certainly watching it firsthand last week. I mean, they are as aggressive as Brian Flores is blitzing everybody, and I just don't see him having success. And the thing is, it's not fair to him. I mean, this is a really tough spot to come into, but I think throughout the 4 quarters, the defense is just going to give them too many fits. I don't see them scoring really any points. I don't see them moving the ball that well.
Why?
For a lot of things I just said, because of all the blitzing, the interior play of the Patriots defensive line is going to eat their lunch. So I think this is a Patriots win by at least 10, maybe more than that. So I would definitely take the Patriots.
Right. Hey, can I ask you a question about last week's game real quick?
Sure.
Can you explain to me why that was an interception and not a catch?
Because he left the ground. The thing is, I don't understand I really don't.
Are we talking about the same play? I'm talking about in the Denver Broncos game. Where
the Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, the Brandon Cooks. Okay,
that's
cool.
yeah.
All right. Because he left the ground.
Because to me, I don't know why there's such a big debate.
Interesting, because I am completely. It seemed to me like he caught the ball and he landed on his back, and then the guy took the ball away.
So this is my interpretation of the law that I thought has been around ever since we decided we have to talk about what's a catch, not a catch. The way I understand it is, anytime a player leaves the ground to make a catch, you have to survive the ground. In the process of surviving the ground for it to be a catch. If that ball was caught in stride, he takes a step or two and goes down to the ground with the defensive player contacting him. They go down to the ground, tumble like they did, same movements, ball comes out. That's a catch. That's not an interception. The second a player leaves the ground, you have to survive the ground. So he didn't survive the ground.
Okay.
So if that ball is not underthrown and he didn't have to go up and make a chesty catch in the air, then we're not talking about that. But because the ball was slightly underthrown, he had to make an adjustment. He leapt off the ground. You got to survive the ground. Sorry, that's just the way. That's just the law.
Real, that is the first explanation I've heard of that, and maybe it's because I haven't looked deep enough. But nobody's explained it to me like that.
Really?
The letter of the law tells me then that is an interception, because reason tells me that's not an interception. But the law, the penalty. Okay, got it.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but that's the interpretation of the rule.
Okay, well, that's perfect. That's what I needed to know.
I do believe that Sean McDermott was right, though, and he should have thrown a bigger fit in the moment. One of his points in the post-game press conference was even if you want to say it was an interception, he was surprised the NFL didn't slow the game down and take a much deeper look at a play that was going to mean the game, right? If that's a catch, the Bills are overwhelmingly likely winning the game.
Yeah.
So this is for everything. And his point was, what was it, 20 seconds? And they're like, let's go on.
Yep.
He's like, how do you not stop the game and make sure that that call is correct and look at it? We've seen plays that are much more insignificant take way longer than that. That was a super tight play.
100%.
They didn't look at it more than 20 seconds.
But
Like,
I
let's
think
go on.
because I think the officials in New York said, I think it was pretty clear cut. It wasn't a frame by frame. Did he leave the ground? He leapt off the ground. That is obvious. That is open and obvious.
Right.
So the result is exactly what happened. He did not survive the ground. So that's an interception.
And going back to Klosterman's book about football, which we were talking about in the first segment, I don't know if you heard it or not, Ben, but Chuck Klosterman's
Yes,
book.
okay,
cool.
I am excited to.
Yeah, it's exciting. One of the things, and I think this is actually a perfect example of what he's talking about. One of the reasons that we love football so much is because there are rules, and there's chaos, but within the rules, there's chaos. And the problem with that play and so many plays is that the rules change so often, and sometimes the rules make no sense reasonably. That's when America football fandom gets angry because common sense doesn't play within the rules, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I agree. And the thing is, it is maddening because I think the NFL is over litigious. Like there's way too many rules and stuff like that, which is why a lot of Europeans and people around the world don't like the American football because there's too many rules. Like
try to explain it to somebody who doesn't understand.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
It's impossible. You just have to grow up like absorbing it through osmosis and just like repetition of watching the game. What the bigger problem that I have was the pass interference call that got them down to kick the game-winning field goal. I think that has to be completely overhauled, and that is pass interference is so subjective. You know, there is the rule, and then there is the personal subjectivity of the actual official throwing the flag. I think anytime a ball is underthrown, if the ball is underthrown and the receiver has to stop his forward momentum to come back to the football, and there's inadvertent contact, which, like, I think that was an inadvertent contact by the defensive player. That is not defensive pass interference. That is impossible to not make contact in those situations. So you cannot make that call in that part of the game. If you want to make that call in the first quarter, fine. I still don't like it, but to make that weighty of a call in that moment,
right,
I think is egregious. And I think all these officials should you have to swallow your whistle in that situation. Because what is every offense going to do then? In critical moments, just heave the ball up. They're already kind of doing that in the NFL, but like just slightly underthrow football and have the receiver, if he just stops, if he goes full speed, puts his brakes on and stops, find me a defensive player that can put his brakes on and react in that fast moment and not make contact.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It seemed like he was doing that intentionally. He did it twice in a row.
Yeah, Bubble Ice does that.
Like you saw it, and as soon as the ball was heaved up in the air like that, like he had not thrown it all game long, it was like, oh, this is exactly what they're going for, and they got exactly
It's
what
like
they
the
wanted.
moon balls Russell Wilson used to throw.
Yeah.
And they had been letting him play, so to say, the entire game until that series.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, McDermott gets fired.
What a weird situation.
What a weird situation. And, look, I mean, there's obviously some stuff going on with Brandon Beane, and I don't know. I mean, obviously Beane positioned himself to be the good guy in the whole situation, which I think there's a lot of Bills fans out there that would say otherwise, but whatever. I mean, it's how razor thin the NFL is. He is a few officiating calls away from, having his team in the AFC Championship without Patrick Mahomes and without all these other obstacles. And because an official got overly officious, he lost his job.
Yep.
Officious.
That's a word.
Is it?
Yeah, the other one it was not, but it is now.
Yeah, it is now.
And I've already forgotten what it was.
Yeah.
Oh man, I used a word on the Patriots game that I don't think is a word, and I'm so glad it didn't get caught.
Paritous?
Was it?
No,
Diddlicious?
Yeah, Diddlicious.
Stickum?
Stiddelicious.
I said diddly bop.
Oh,
That's a word.
No, I said something about Drake May needing to take a more legged approach.
yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
You did say that.
And I was like, I don't think that that's even a thing. But I wanted him to use his legs more. And I want him to run more and be more mobile in a certain situation. Is it? Did I use it in the right way?
I don't know. It's having legs or a specified kind or number.
Yeah, I just don't think that I used it in the right way.
Yeah, because I think that's referring to like it's a four-legged beast.
Like leg.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely wanted him to be two-legged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
didn't
to
want him
use
to,
his two legs.
I didn't want him to lose a leg out there.
Oh,
No,
yeah, good
that's
point.
good.
Strong take.
I think you're right.
Jason McCourty agreed. Jason or Devin? Jason?
Jason. Yeah.
Well, I thought that was an absolute avalanche of good information.
Same.
A barrage of good sports information.
It was delicious.
It was Paritous. That's just me mispronouncing paradise.
Correct.
Vikings news is next. We'll talk about Brian Flores with Ben Leber after this on The Fan.
The Fan.
And welcome back. 748. Power Trip Morning Show getting funky. Meow, 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 meow. It's time to do a little bit of that Vikings news.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Your truck accessories pro.
All right, Ben. The Vikings extended Brian Flores with the asterisk that he stays if he doesn't get a head coaching job. So we still can ask the question, do you believe Brian Flores will be back in 2026?
Yes. Way more so now than I was when we talked about this at the end of the season.
So explain the timing. Like if he's still in the running for the Ravens or the Steelers, or maybe there's another job that he interviews for, why sign it now, this extension now? How does that give him leverage as opposed to just continuing the head coaching cycle, still interview? Talk to the Vikings and have this on, maybe even a gentleman's agreement. Like this is possible. Like, hey, look, if I don't get these jobs, we can still do this. Give me the number one reason why they timed it like this and signed this yesterday.
Well, I just think it's mutually beneficial that if they give him the opportunity to still move up and take a head coaching job, I don't know why you wouldn't want to have the job security of knowing, like, I have a job. Like, I got a job, the terms work out, the number works out. It gives, in good faith, to the Vikings the idea that I'm not going to make a lateral move, that I'm going to be your guy. It does do the Vikings a solid, which I think is a smart thing to do. Doesn't leave them hanging for, okay, and when the season's over and all of a sudden now we get into the true offseason, we're going to start focusing more on the college stuff and the draft, that we don't lose our coordinator to another coordinator position. And I don't think, now that he's kind of sniffed around, it doesn't sound like he even wants that. I'd be curious to know how serious he was about all this Dallas Cowboys rumors and all this other stuff. If he takes a head coaching job, nobody's gonna be mad at that, right? Everybody's gonna be like very happy for him. So I just think it is mutually beneficial to both. He's got a job; it's locked in. They're allowing him to move if he takes a head coaching job. I think the idea, and he must have a better idea after sitting down with the Steelers now for the second time, that the likelihood of him being offered the head coaching job at either the Ravens or Steelers is probably waning. And the possibilities are getting less and less. So sign the deal. If by happen chance that they interview some of these, the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator for the Rams and all these other guys that are in these positions that can't do in-person interviews, if those fall through and he's sort of a plan B or C, then they can always come back and we'll just have to backfill with his defensive coordinator position here. But I think all likelihood it probably means the writing is on the wall that he's not going to be the top choice for either one of those teams.
Is there any player on the defense that is directly affected by Flores staying?
Well, Harrison Smith. I mean, I know that he's a free agent, but he definitely left the possibility open that if the Vikings, here we are with an even number year, if we make a playoff run and they want to feel like they want to bring him back and he can be helpful, I could see him coming back to play in this scheme, because Harry was very specific that if he did make a choice like Eric Kendricks did this year, that it has to be the perfect situation with the right type of defense. It cannot be a man coverage heavy defense. It's got to be similar to what Brian Flores does. That's the only way he'll come back for another season and finish out the season. So he could be greatly affected. Certainly, I think Van Ginkel and Grenard are greatly affected. I mean, if we brought in a coordinator, if we lost him and the coordinator wanted to come in and run a standard 4-3, let's just say a Tampa 2 or something like that, I'm not sure those guys would fit in a Tampa 2. That's not their role. They're not a hand on the ground 5 technique defensive ends. So we would be wasting, I think, player talents and player contracts if we went that direction. So it's nice that everybody kind of stays pat.
Do you think there's any chance in these conversations Brian had with KOC and all these other people about staying and what they were going to do with the team? Did he say, my defense can play as well as it can, but I have to get a similar effort on the other side of the ball?
You know, I don't think that was part of the conversation. I think, you know, it's not so siloed and compartmentalized within to not understand what's going on the other side of the ball. So I think B-Flow has a really good understanding of where this team is at.
Yeah.
And what the offense is trending towards and what those decisions might be. Obviously, he doesn't know exactly what they're going to be doing in the offseason offensively, but I think he understands that we're a good football team that's not far away. He's going to focus on the defense, continue to have the defense be a top 10 defense. If he probably understands, if I do that, and obviously we're going to make some tweaks for sure. We all understand that. We still need interior defensive line help. We still need a safety. We still need some defensive backs. Like, all of that stuff's in play. But I think he understands the nucleus of this defense is going to be there. But I don't think that specific conversation probably happened.
Is this one of the most important drafts in Vikings history?
One of, yeah. I mean, you know, once again, you've got to not only hit on the first round guy, but I think that you have to find 3 starters out of this draft. You should.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not high expectations. I mean, I think out of every draft you should find at least 3, you know, immediate starters. You know, I think your third rounder these days, I think your third rounder, depending on the position that they're in, should be a starter.
I mean, the 2 first picks of the Seahawks, the guard
Trey Zabel, fantastic.
And then is it Eamon Warry?
Yeah, Eamon Warry. Yeah.
They're studs.
They're studs.
And they were their first 2 picks in last year's draft, and they are contributing to a team that will probably play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you want to, obviously, ideally, you want to have 2 high-enders like they have, the 2 guys that we just mentioned, but you just want guys to start. You know,
Yeah.
you say you want guys to go out there and contribute and get that game experience. And yeah, they're going to make mistakes, but you can't not have them play a significant amount of snaps. So, yeah, this is a huge draft for us. And, you know, my knee-jerk reaction right now is probably go offense with that first pick, but we'll see.
One day ago, Sauce tweeted a gif of Jennifer Lawrence going, okay. You know, thumbs up bit. You know that bit, right?
Yeah.
Famous meme. And he was responding to a Niners Twitter account that asked this question. So again, keep that in mind. This is a Niners fan or a Niners account. Yes or no, would you do this trade? The Niners receive wide receiver Justin Jefferson.
No.
The Vikings receive quarterback Mac Jones, a 2026 second-round pick, and wide receiver Ricky Pearsall.
No. 100% no. I mean, that's as preposterous as the rumors I heard that the Ravens are going to trade Lamar Jackson to the Raiders. What? No. Not if they fired their head coach. Why would they do that? Why would we trade our best player on the team for Mac Jones? No. I mean, all of a sudden now Mac Jones is, I get it. Mac Jones is the next Sam Darnold. I get all that. Could be, could not be.
Right.
More likely not.
Right.
Than could. So,
since the last time you were here, the charges were dropped on Jordan Addison. But we haven't had your opinion yet on the whole noodle bar fiasco. This looks like it's, again, much ado about nothing, but in general, how do you feel about Jordan Addison and just his general sense of judgment?
General sense of judgment, again, is still immaturity. You know, if this was an isolated incident, this is the first time we've ever seen him get in trouble, we'd say, big deal. You know, you're having a good time. He's drunk at a casino, and he was probably on a heater. I don't know the details. Didn't want to leave.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky. Or he was not on a heater and he wanted to make all of his money back. Like, look, we've all been young. We've been in a casino. We've all been drunk. You know, big deal. But like you said, it's the history that he has. And, it's a history of making poor choices. And the thing is, dude, we have him for a fifth year. I don't think that we've exercised that fifth year option. He's only hurting himself. There's potentially millions of dollars that he's leaving on the table because he cannot make mature decisions and stay out of the media. So, I think his future is probably not here with the Vikings, and that's not even just that's not just because of his off the field stuff. I just don't think it makes sense to pay him probably what he deserves to have two high priced wide receivers. So my whole thought was he was not going to be a long-term player here anyway for a second contract. But I think this absolutely assures the fact that he's not going to get a second deal with the Vikings.
And do you believe Jalen Naylor is good enough to be a solid number 2 wide receiver, or would they need to address that?
I think they would need to address that. I love his development and where he's going. I tend to look at this offense and think that we need somebody in that caliber of Addison, a little bit more quick twitch than we have out of Naylor. Naylor's fantastic at that number 3 spot and his ability to kind of move around. But no, I think that they still probably need to find somebody to fill J.A. spot.
All right, one last hardcore football question during Vikings news. Also, since we haven't seen you, a lot of firings and hirings across the head coaching carousel. What have you liked, been surprised by? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense in terms of hirings and firings? Let's start with Harbaugh. Do you like the Harbaugh fit in New York or not?
Yeah, I do. I think New York doesn't need they don't need a guy to come in and be boisterous like a Brian Daboll. They need a calming CEO. And that's exactly what Harbaugh is. And I think it's a really good business hire for them. If they're looking for a good manager of a team, somebody that obviously has pedigree and a reputation, and immediately when he has his first team meeting with those guys, like, you're going to be transfixed in the fact that, like, dude, we got John Harbaugh as our coach. This is unbelievable, right? So I think the buy-in's going to be immediate. It is the type of temperament I think is perfect for that organization. I think Stefanski is actually a great fit in Atlanta. I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the quarterback situation, because Penix is coming off the injury. Obviously, I'm sure he likes Kirk Cousins, but there is the age factor. And, like, do you really trust that he's going to put you over the hump and get you into the playoffs and get yourself a win or two in the playoffs after 17 games, given his age and lack of mobility? I don't know. I probably think he leans more still towards the youth, but he's got Bijan. That's exactly the type of player that he wants for that offense. I think Mike Tomlin stepping down was probably the right move. They are notoriously loyal to their head coaches, and things have gotten stagnant. Things have gotten really stagnant there. And for a guy that has, molded himself and kind of transitioned into more that CEO and not so much of a defensive coordinator, like, they need defensive help. Like, they need to be more explosive on offense. They need to modernize. And for whatever reason, Tomlin was great for 19 years. It's just, I feel like they were stuck in a rut. They need to refresh there in Pittsburgh. So I think they'll probably go offense with their next head coach, and probably the dude from the Rams, the Shieldhouse guy or something like that.
Right on. All right, Fan 5 in a second. Tom Pelissero in a little bit. The Oscar nominations are out. We can talk about films. Max has seen them all, so we can get his opinion probably on all of these things. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan.